Good afternoon. It's Angela with Chalky and Company, and I did a video last week where I showed you how to use Glaze. So I'm going back to my project. So here's the glazed look, all finished and dry. I went ahead and did a top coat because I'm going to go ahead and stencil it. Normally you don't have to do a top coat when you do a stencil, but on top of the glaze, it's a great way to make sure that the stencil doesn't bleed, since I can't seal it like I would with regular chalky paint. So I just wanted to show you how the stenciling goes and how you could do a stencil with your kit if you can't make it to a workshop and maybe you want to just purchase a kit and do it on your own time. Or if you're doing an online party, which we're getting ready to start doing. So I'm going to just kind of, my laptop is plugged in, so I don't have as much space as I normally like to. So I had this stencil, it was all one, but I went ahead and cut it so that I can divide it up nicely the way that I wanted to. So that's always an option. You're going to take the back. You can see it's got little grid lines on it. Here's the front. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and just pull that gridded piece very slowly. You don't want to go too fast. You don't want to rip it or miss a piece of your stencil and leave it behind. So you're going to pull it at a 90-degree angle. You're just going to go slow, making sure all little pieces are doing what they're supposed to do. I have one here that's wanting to stay, so I'm just going to go from a different angle. Just like that. All right, so we've got our sticky. And then the best way to make sure it's centered is to stand up over your project so that you can really see where you want it to go. And then you're just going to smooth it out, making sure that it's sticking. Because I let my board dry for a couple of days, I don't have to worry about it not being dry. But if you start noticing that your project is not, or that your stencil is not sticking, it's possible that you're not quite dry yet. You want to make sure it's completely dry so that your stencil will stick. So if you start noticing that it's not sticking at all, your paint is probably still wet. So you're going to want to take it back off and take a hairdryer to it, or give it a little bit longer. All right, so I'm going to do that with my last one here. All right. Pretty easy. Some of them are a little bit trickier. The longer and the more intricate, the longer time it'll take to pull your stencil. So just be patient when you're doing this. I don't think mine is exactly centered, but that's okay. That's okay with me. If you wanted yours more stencil, you can use a ruler and make markings of where exactly centered is. I'm going to have stuff on this, so I can always offset it to make it, you know, look the way that I want it to look. When you're getting ready to stencil, make sure that you have readily available some tweezers. Always have water so you can dip your brushes in. A stenciling foam brush, the small ones are best. I also have my my detail brushes that I might need to use, so I have them ready. And your paint. You don't have to mix the paint with powder for stencils if you're using it on more than one item and you want it to be chalky. Then go ahead and mix it, which is in another video, but you don't have to. So I just went ahead and I'm just going to take it right out of my jar. So I'm just smoothing out my stencils, making sure there's no bubbles, so that when I go to peel the white piece off, I know that it's going to be secure. It's good to also have a card handy too. I might need to grab that in case. Sometimes it's hard to find that piece of the white. All right, we got it. I'm gonna grab a card. If I have one handy, this will work. This is just in case the blue wants to start pulling up with it. I can just hold it down and smooth it as I go. You can see. There we go. I'm just holding it down, making sure it stays smooth. See how sometimes it's going to want to pull up. I just take, you can use a debit card or a gift card, or just really anything that's going to help you lay it flat. So going slowly, just like we did with the backing, all we need to do, making sure that it's staying smooth as you pull. That's it, guys. It's that easy. If it was difficult to pull the backing off because it was cursive or lots of characters or small, it's going to be the same amount of work for the top. So just remember to continue being patient if it's giving you a hard time. Alrighty. Next. All right. We're just going to pull. Pull, pull, pull. So there are a whole lot of different stencil options. Some of the kits come with a stencil. Sometimes you have to choose a stencil. If you don't like the stencil it comes with, we can personalize them for you. So just, you know, whatever look you're going for, we can probably achieve. So don't be afraid to ask questions about, maybe there's a saying in your family that means something special, or maybe you see a stencil that comes with another kit, but you would like that one. You know, don't be afraid to ask questions. There's usually a way to make it personable for you. All right, so we're almost there, guys. And just remember, while I'm pulling this stencil, it's usually at a workshop and you're sitting right next to your best friend enjoying a beverage and just chatting it up while you're both pulling a stencil or glazing your project or dry brushing. And that's the best part about this company. We rarely find time to just be together. A lot of times we're on our phones. We have to rush home, put our kids to bed. So the workshops give you an allotted time to just be together. And I think that's my favorite part about doing a workshop. All right, so my stencil is on. Let me show you the look so far. It's basically a sticker. You're just gonna paint right over that sticker, and it's gonna end up looking fabulous. All right, so now it's time to move to that portion of painting, the fun part, right? Okay, so you're gonna wanna shake, shake, shake your paint up. Usually if it's in a bowl pre-mixed with the powder, it's already pre-mixed, and that's okay. Usually at my parties, when they mix it up, they can pour it right back in here. And as long as you keep the lid on tight, the chalky paint never expires. All right, so you're gonna, let's see where you can see. Okay, so you're gonna take your brush, you're gonna dip it lightly, and you're gonna scrape most of it off. You don't need a lot of paint. You wanna do light coats. Light coats have a less possibility of bleeding. So the lighter you do, the better. You're gonna wanna basically tap, 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 not rub, 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 because you have the, if you're rubbing too hard, you can pull up some of the little pieces in your stencil, and we don't want that, okay? So just lightly. Now, one of the best parts about chalky paint is it dries faster. So if you don't mix it with the powder, just know that it's going to take a little bit longer to dry, but you don't want your stencil to be dry before you pull it, because you're going to dry those stencil pieces on, and you have the ability to pull up some of that paint with it, and that's never fun. It's always fixable though, so if you do end up getting distracted and having to go take care of something, you can always paint wherever the paint has pulled up. Having detail brushes are definitely important so that you can fix the little places here and there. So my brush is not loaded at all. It's just a little bit, and I'm just kind of dabbing, not pulling. So as you can see, there's like, you just dip. Can you even see? There's the, pull it closer to here. Sorry. So we're gonna dip and then get most of that off. Okay. Dip, 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 dip. So yeah, the funnest part about when you're doing this, not only do you get to be creative and spend some time making something handmade, you get to do it with some of your favorite people. But if you live far away from your favorite people, or your schedules just don't mesh, you can do it live over the internet with people, or you can chat with them while you're doing it. There's lots of ways to bring people together for a Chalky workshop. And it's just my favorite part, being with people you care about. So we're just gonna go ahead and finish. You can hear my son watching a movie. This is probably gonna be the first video that he doesn't come and say hello. Because we just discovered this movie. I was going through our DVDs yesterday a little bit, and Monsters versus Aliens. Haven't watched that since my other two were little, but he saw it and he was just all excited to watch that. So he's watched it already twice today and once yesterday. His new favorite movie. Okay, so as it's drying, you can see how dark it is, and if you want to go back over and do another coat. So as soon as I get this last one done, I can go back to the top and see what I think. All right, so we did dabs. And since it's not mixed, it's not quite dry yet. Making sure you don't miss anything. And that's it. That's how you do your stenciling. So you just gotta let it dry a little bit and see if you want it darker. Since I didn't mix it and it's just the latex, it would usually be almost dry, but I didn't mix it. One of my worst habits is overdoing it. But you want to make sure you get all those little corners. So I don't want this video to be too boring. I should have brought the hair dryer. And I use Zoom, so I can't pause. So I'm gonna pull the top one in a second to show you. And then I'll go back and detail the rest. So that's it. That's how you use our stencils. So When the shine is gone, that's when you know it's dry enough to pull. Can't wait. Can't wait to use this. See? Love it. All right. So I'm going to pull this one just a little bit prematurely. Remember, for your own personal, you're going to wait till the shine is gone. That's it. That's the end result. And it looks like I got a little right there to touch up, but that's easy. Just gonna take a little glaze and put it right over that, and we'll be, oh, it's on my finger, that's why. That's not good. Don't touch it with your wet finger paint. Okay, so that's it. That's how you stencil. I'm gonna go ahead and finish letting the rest actually dry for longer and touching up my little pieces that I touched with my finger. And then I'll show you the finished project later. So now you know how to do stencils. Talk to you guys later.